Well, welcome to Coffee with Job. It's Tuesday, it's the last day of August. We're still in lockdown here. What we're doing is we're taking a coffee, we've got our Bible, we're looking at the book of Job, and we're trying just to take a few minutes to think about how it applies to us in this situation. And whether you're a Christian or not a Christian, I think there's something here for you. So, we've come to Job chapter 2, verse 11. When Job's three friends, Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite, heard about all the troubles that had come upon him, they set out from their homes and met together by agreement to go and sympathize with him and comfort him. When they saw him from a distance, they could hardly recognize him. They began to weep aloud, and they tore their robes and sprinkled dust on their heads. Then they sat on the ground with him for 7 days and 7 nights. No one said a word to him, because they saw how great his suffering was. Well, it's good to have friends, isn't it? You know, the sitcom, I was going to say the old one, but it's back. Friends, I'll be there for you. Or is it James Taylor, you got a friend, when you call out my name, I'll be there. I'll come running wherever I am. I'm not talking here about Facebook friends. I'm talking here about people who will come running, people who will come to help. And that's what happened here. Job was a chieftain of great wealth and great influence and great power. And he had friends in different areas. And these three friends came probably several weeks, maybe several months after the event. They came from 3 different cities. This wasn't text message, emoji, sorry to hear about your loss. This was men taking time out to travel to visit their friend. Eliphaz means God conquers, Bildad, possibly God is love, and then there was Zophar. One of them was from Edom, and that is interesting because in Obadiah, verse 8, in that day declares the Lord, will I not destroy the wise men of Edom, men of understanding in the mountains of Teman, and at least one of these men was from there. So in terms of that, they were allowed to travel to visit their friends. One of the worst things about the lockdown restrictions is we can't comfort those who mourn. Secondly, it's good to weep. There's a time to weep, says Ecclesiastes, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. Romans 12:15 says, hey, we got to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. They came, they wept because they didn't recognize Job. His appearance was so shocking. When I was in hospital 10 years ago, apparently the blood vessels in my eyes had burst and stuff, and my eyes were just pure red, and there were people who came in to see me who were physically repulsed by what they saw. It was dreadful. My mother told me that when she saw me, she actually went out and wept. And that's what happened here, because his appearance was so dreadful. And then it's good to have friends, it's good to weep, and it's good to be silent. The Bedouin custom of the time, let me read you this. As soon as the news of an illness circulates, relatives and friends come to pay a visit, and they form a circle around the ill person. In silence, without listening, without saying a word, they listen to his groans and cries. Only when he addresses them do they answer him and lament his state. Well, that's what happened here. 7 days was the standard time for mourning. Joseph was mourned for 7 days. Ezekiel sat stunned for 7 days. And for 7 days, they sat in silence. And that's maybe not a bad thing. We've got endless social media and comment, and sometimes it's better to keep silent. Perhaps this wasn't so good, though. Perhaps this was a refusal to speak. Perhaps there was loneliness. And so, let me just take all this and apply this in terms of Jesus again. A man of many companions may come to ruins. Many Facebook friends may come to ruins. But there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Proverbs 18:24. What a friend we have in Jesus. And then Jesus wept. Think of him at the grave of Lazarus, weeping for his friends. If you don't mourn, there's something wrong with you, a death. And Jesus kept silent. He didn't answer his accusers, but it was for us. And now he speaks to us. I don't think anyone was as lonely as Christ, not even Job. And he was lonely so that we might not be. I pray that you would know his presence, that you would know Jesus as a friend. and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.